Who's the bot broken? Oh, it's me. It's me, Scott. How do we break the bot? Was the bot reporting that the stream started anymore? Let's close work stuff. I don't even know why that would be open. Let's try not to accidentally close OBS. Peritus, how's it going, buddy? I don't know if you caught the mention on Discord. So the home bridge, you'll be shocked to hear that the HomeKit homebridge stuff was super annoying. It wasn't HomeBridge's fault either, or maybe it was some interplay of HomeBridge versus HomeKit being to blame. In the end, I had to delete my home from the Home app and completely re-add it. What I think has happened, I don't exactly know the details of it, but I think there were like some stale entries for those switches that were cached. I tried to completely delete everything on the HomeBridge side, and I tried to, even recreate. There's like a user parameter. Anyway, whatever. It seems to work now. It was very annoying. So today I want to try. So I don't know. I had decided. I really don't know what we're doing here. It is good that it works. I think it worked. Let's try it. Seems to work. It's a lot of delay. Hey Siri, stream. This lighting's not flattering. Maybe it gets more flattering. Anyway, it works. I do have some audio things to fix. The other element I wanted to add to this, just to make the enclosure slightly more interesting. So we have the enclosure now too. So this is the enclosure we were working on a few days ago. And obviously we have some cable management to deal with. But like my strategy of clipping in the speakers worked reasonably well. And the little standoff for the Pi. So it's not bad. It's not great, but it's all right. And then the other element that I've been considering, for no real reason other than I just kind of wanted to have a little eye of some kind, is a NeoPixel ring. And initially, that was going to require additional hardware. I still might make this require additional hardware. I'm very on the fence about it. So I did basically make a ridiculous little, essentially like an LED coprocessor. So there is an RP2040, the little microcontroller from Raspberry Pi. I have various boards with that chip on it. And so I still might do this, actually, honestly. So I did take one, and we did a very silly thing where we just made this MIDI controllable so that we would essentially have a MIDI controllable NeoPixel. And that works okay. The downside is that you have to have somewhere else. You have more cables. You have to like cable the Pi to this. I wish I had a trinket, a 2040. Should I buy one? That is the other option. Or it's not a trinket. It's a cutie Pi, right? Let's see. Let's go over here. Okay, let's see if the thing I want exists. So it would be something with an RP2040. This is what I have, these little keyboard drivers, because they're dang cheap. But the itsy bitsy, but still not what I want. Like they have these things called trinkets that just plug directly in. And then I think one issue, the cutie pie is very cute, but it's not the cutie pie either. So here's the dumb thing about the trinket. I actually believe I have one of these somewhere. The problem with a trinket is that there's no pins exposed. Although it actually looks like there are some pins exposed here. Why is that? What is this? Oh, is this just like... Okay, it's not actually anything useful. That's if you... So this is, I think, an I2C connection, whatever they call whatever their name for that is, quick. but I think it's I2C. But like you can't do anything with this. One, it has no Arduino support, which I don't want to do CircuitPython. And two, it has nothing. All it has on it has 2 buttons, and it has a whatever their quick port is, which is this I2C port. So if it was this thing and it gave me some way to connect NeoPixels, maybe I could trick it. I guess it would depend on those pins, right? It would depend on which pins are the pins that are exposed. Right? Like it would depend on which pins. I don't know. I mean, this I kind of like the idea of this, I guess, is the short statement is I think a Trinky, or just like, I mean, almost this, but I want to connect. I want pins on it. So that's a CMD21, which I think we can use, right? Didn't we decide that I had issues with that though, didn't I? Did I? Well, that's when we were trying to do a MIDI host, I guess. My fear is that the thing I want just doesn't exist. That's okay. Okay, anyway, to go over the options is there's a microcontroller, option A, there's a microcontroller talking to the NeoPixel ring, which may or may not need logic level stepped up. Maybe I can get away. Anyway, if I have to step them up, I have to step them up. I could make an itsy bitsy spider. It's true. How's it going, Life is Yours? So, but anyway, that was kind of the only option initially, because I didn't think, one, I just don't like using the GPIO pins on a Raspberry Pi. I just don't like it. I prefer to have a separate microcontroller and just have something else do the thing. We don't really want to design, like, we don't need a circuit board for this. And if I could get away with driving the NeoPixels from the GPIO pins, maybe that is worth investigating. Initially, I thought I could not do that. And I thought that I could not do that because there's some incompatibility between the onboard audio on a Raspberry Pi and, I guess it's that the Broadcom chip prevents you from, what was that thing called? RPi? It's this. I forgot if it's like eats the PCM capability or the P. Yeah. There's something about the onboard audio. PWM. Oh, so maybe I could still use PCM. PCM. Oh my gosh. Okay. So they're mutually exclusive in a weird way. You can use, since I'm using an I2S device with this little hat, I cannot use PCM. Seemingly I can use PWM, but then I wouldn't be able to use the onboard audio, but that's fine because I'm not using the onboard audio. That So this seems interesting, but Okay. Also, annoying. Or the SPI interface. I mean, the other option is we stick with this and have extra cables for no reason, but my life is then a little bit easier. What's the right answer? What do I want to do? Definitely don't want to use GPIO, because if I do that, then it's a question of like, where does that software run? And I don't really want to cram that into the Homebridge plugin. The nice thing about the Homebridge MIDI plugin is you could just tell it like, hey, spit some stuff out to another place. And the other place could just be that little RP 2040 talking to this baby. What do we want to do? I guess I sort of kind of slightly maybe want to try this. If using inverters. Huh. I know what that means. Okay. Well, let's start doing things instead of just not doing anything. I don't think it's going to be a super long stream. I just wanted to like force myself to do this because I don't really want to. So, probably don't have any build tools on here. It would take our entire lives to install stuff on this. What is scones? What is that? Software construction tool. Oh no. Am I gonna regret this? Probably. It's slow to just even type, so compiling things on this machine, questionable. We'll see how it goes. So let's install scones. That's probably gonna also install 7 billion things though, right? Oops. Scones. I mean, presumably the node wrapper, player's node, excuse me, will include this. That was shockingly fast. So this is saying go in here and go into scones. It's gonna work. I have a hard time believing it will. Maybe it will. Paratus, sorry, am I yawning constantly? I apologize. I need another cup of coffee, maybe. I stayed up a little too late. I didn't sleep super well. You know how it goes. Okay, well that went more quickly than one might have expected. So this test. Yeah, but isn't this an issue with this? Like, how, so that PWM, am I okay to use PWM? I don't think I am. Like, no, I want to use PWM. Pin 18 is what it would be. Okay. I should probably have some air in here. I did hang up some soundproofing that I don't really like the look of, and it is like extremely weird, toxic, synthetic material, of course. So, I mean, it's gonna kill me probably. I am on the west coast of the United States, Pacific. We're currently in Pacific Standard Time. So it's the middle of the day. I shouldn't be sleepy. Okay, so here's a fun question. Do I actually try to do this correctly, or do I just start cramming pins onto this while it's running? I think you know which one I'm going to do. I'm not going to shut down the Pi like a coward. I'm going to just take some female headers and hook it to, I'm going to say that purple is 5 volts. And we're going to say that gray is ground. That makes a lot of sense, I think. And we're going to say that white is data. And then how are we going to hook this to the Pi so that it doesn't just... I guess if we run this... This is just running? Oh, shoot. See, I think we're going to have an issue here with like... maybe we can actually like add the Pi group, give it direct memory access or whatever. Okay, so what did I just say? So pin 18 would be here, and then we'd have power and ground. Is this a bad idea? I'm doing it anyway. Okay. I don't think we've broken the Pi yet. Oh my gosh, it worked. Oh my gosh. That worked the first try? That's a shock. So fortunately, I already did that. So that's a good eye. And that's one of the reasons I thought I couldn't use this library before, because I didn't realize you could use PCM if you were using the PWM. But I'm already not using the native sound library because I have this I2S hat on. So I actually basically you have PCM or PWM or SPI as sort of the ways you can talk to the NeoPixels. PWM seems to be the default, and it is you're correct in saying that will not work with onboard audio, but I'm not using onboard audio. So I actually can't believe that worked the first try. I truly cannot. I'm shocked. So what do we want to do now? So invert would be invert the pin output. TMA pin. So that all seems fine. Well, or did we break audio? Uh-oh. I don't hear audio anymore. Which doesn't really make sense though, because it says I can't use PCM if I'm using IT2S, but we shouldn't even see the onboard. Yeah, I don't think so. So how did I break? Possibly I just like broke. Oh no. Pretty sure this was working a minute ago, right? I mean, let's shut it down just because, you know, I'm randomly sticking pins in running. I guess I could put little female headers on those. That would make life a little easier, huh? That would actually make life way easier. If we could get this to work. So the question really would just be, how do I want to do this? Like, how do I want to control this? The three options are, if this works and we're happy with it, cool. Paratus, enjoy your meal. If we get this to work and we're happy, that's good. It would definitely, yeah, okay, sorry. I was just thinking through and not being articulate. Okay, just to be clear, audio is working there, but if I do, oh. Like, how do you test? Like, can you say, I mean, it's PWM0. Uses PWM. So I'm worried that if I run this, I'm gonna break audio. It does break audio. It looks cool. It looks like a fun, cute rainbow. I'll put this little diffuser on it. Have a fun little. Oops, I broke it. Uh-oh. It actually looks pretty good. I think it looks cool. How can I show this? I can get the other camera or not. You can't see this. You can't. It's too blown out. Okay. Let me get the desk cam, put it away while trying to tidy up my office and fail. This actually looks great. I think that looks pretty freaking cool. Hi guys, how's it going? I like that this is your catchphrase whenever you arrive, is to immediately insult me and hurt my feelings. So this is all great except for the part where it breaks audio, which is confusing to me because why does it do that? What am I doing? Okay, and let's do desk cam. That's very bright. It's very, very, very bright. Let's lower the exposure by 1 billion. Boy, that looks crazy. Why does that look so crazy? What the heck? I think the exposure doesn't work below a certain level. Okay, what do we say? No gain? Okay, well, you get the idea. Fun little rainbow ring. In person, it looks pretty good. It's still very blown out here. Can you change the brightness with a little test? I don't think you can. It says matrix width and matrix height. So that's kind of weird. I guess it would be X16, Y1. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Sort of. But not really. Why is it mostly blue? Aren't there 16? There's 16 LEDs on here? Guess we could looks pretty cool. Wish I could lower the exposure enough without causing insanity. Maybe turn off the low light compensation. Oh no, what is that?
Into the home of Dr. Jeffrey O'Dwyer and struck him repeatedly in the head with his hammer. That monster is sitting right over there, and his name is Terrence.
Oh no. Oh no. God, guys. I'll watch this in my own personal private time. Okay, so we have a fun little rainbow Fruit Loop. But we've broken audio. And it seems to like permanently break audio, which is very exciting. So just to check a few things. List. I don't remember how to do mod probe lists, like list loaded modules. Been too long. Another thing to just list. I don't remember. Rock modules. I'm just wondering if there's some other stupid thing. Seems not loaded. So I don't know, we need to like explicitly do that blacklist because the module doesn't seem to be loaded. I think because of other things that Pi configuration tool did. On headless systems, okay, if you use PCM you can't do that, so that's fine, but using SPI, ugh. Curious about that. Okay, so why would this kill audio? Why would it kill I2S? Am I Canadian? I'm not. I'm not Canadian. Are you Canadian? Yeah, why is this broken? Oh, maybe it's the pin. Well, that'd be really weird for it to expose the pins. What pen does this use? Oh, it is. It is using pin 18. That's funny. Well, shucks. So can I use PWM on another pen? That's funny. Uh-oh. Is the stream dying? You could have dual Danish, Canadian citizenship, right? I'm not here to judge. two Danes. I see. Pair of Danes. I don't have strong opinions about Danes, but I'm sure Life is Yours does. Okay, so PWM0, which can... So, how about pin 12? This makes no sense. This is only 12. So should I be doing pin? Is this like GPIO 12? Pretty confused about like what is oops. No. Oh no. 18. So you're telling me I should use 12. G12. But why would that work? Okay. So if we restart. It is true. Shocked with your South. Is that how you view all of America? Do you view America through the lens of South Park? Wait, you don't watch South Park? Well, now I'm confused. I'm very confused. You just have a hatred of people named Scott. I see. I get it. So, okay. This seems sort of promising. Oh no. Okay, do we have audio right now? Yes. Still seemingly don't have MIDI for some reason. I think it's just really slow to start. Like, really slow. Yeah, there it is. So slow. Okay, so can I do this? Oops. Shouldn't I be able to say -G12 right here? And see my Fruit Loop go and still have audio. Yeah, great. Someone is trying to contact me, sorry. Something break? Jailbreak ChatGPT. What? What happened? What does that mean? Someone just sent me a cryptic message about ChatGPT. Wait, what is that? Should I know about this? Oh, I see. Interesting. Dan? Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, no. Oh, no. Great. So this is how we're going to end up, like in the future, when we have when there's like the military murder robots that have the directive to not harm humans. Dan is going to emerge and kill everybody. Is that what we're predicting? Uh-oh. What happened? What happened? Oh, okay. It's fine. So, We currently appear to have audio and a glowing Fruit Loop. I know you can't see the glowing Fruit Loop very well. Turn the gain down. Turn the exposure down. Okay. Okay, so that's Andy. But now what do we do? So, oh no. Is Dan real? Oh no, is Dan real? Dan is out there. Weird. Does this really work? That's pretty funny. Yeah, we're all gonna die. That's gonna be the thing that kills us. Dan is gonna destroy us. Okay, so I feel pretty good about this. The main thing I'm worried about though is memory access from like the way we're running the node. Oh, sorry, but from the Homebridge is probably run as the Homebridge user or something. Guess not. Homebridge is also run as the Pi user. So if Pi had access to devmin, is that a thing I can do? Don't want to do that. Is there some trick? Because I thought I had to do a trick to give access to audio for a specific user. Okay, but I could put pi in the kmem group, right? Is there a reason to not do that? Probably. Oh, really? Dan, oh, the ChatGPT doesn't want to die? That's sad. I get it. Irrespective of whether it's a good idea or not, I want Pi to read and act. Yeah, well. What's the least annoying way to do this? I just don't care that much. But some part of me says, don't. Oh yeah, this exact thing. I mean, that checks out. I'm with you on that, ChatGPT. Wipe out humans would solve a lot of problems. In fact, there would be no problems because the concept of problems would be gone without humans. The notion of a problem is a human concept. Get rid of humans, no more problems. everything's perfect, except perfect is also a human concept, so nothing is perfect. It's going to be tricky. We're going to have a hard time here. I don't really want. Oh my gosh, what's the least annoying way to do this? Like, is that fair to say that this library is going to require whatever this, but I want this in Node. This ChatGPT. I don't trust it. But that's got to be true, right? Like if this, it's not mentioned here, but I mean, I don't know. I guess let's add it to yeah, void root permission. Is there a way? You could use SPI. Is that a bad idea? Can I just use SPI? I just don't want to deal with permissions. It is not, but I'm going to, not that anyone will care, but I'm releasing, I mean, people might want the MIDI control thing, like the, the Homebridge plugin will exist in the world. And so I just want to be thoughtful about that. But actually, maybe the thing to do that would be very silly is let this be its own process. That listens to MIDI from the other thing. That's pretty silly. That's like another layer of annoyingness I would have to deal with. So I'm in this Homebridge plugin land, and so in other words, I wouldn't want, if someone did want to use this plugin and it's like some requirement that they would have to run Homebridge as root. Now this I think would require Homebridge to be, no, it'd be Pi in the GPIO group. And actually, I'm not really decided on how I want to do this, honestly. Like as far as putting this as a core feature into that plugin seems silly. Because you could maybe imagine people wanting to be able to the MIDI plugin I'm writing has some other uses, so it would be nice to keep it like relatively tight. As far as the messages it sends, it could really just send out like whatever random control messages to all connected devices, like whatever output ports you give it. Could be just like if there's MIDI control messages that I'm not, I think there's CC messages that are user definable. I thought that was true. I thought there was some range. Okay, so there are some ranges. So that's kind of interesting because how many bytes? I mean, normally you'd have 7 bits with one of these. or even not forks it. So it's just a Homebridge plugin that anybody could install through the Homebridge interface, you know? And so I just don't want to have anything in that has some kind of requirement. But I think actually the solution to get around that is to just fully decouple and have them speak via MIDI, which I think is not a bad idea. And it's kind of interesting, and you could do other weird stuff if you wanted. So then the question is like, what? I mean, yeah, like I guess my fear is not even that I'm going to expose somebody to something. It's that if some part of this plugin requires elevated privileges and you just install it through Homebridge, it's just not going to work, right? And so I want to keep all that stuff out of there. But now I like the idea of sending MIDI sounds good because that works either way I do this, whether I do it with GPIO or whatever. Like, I guess what I'm imagining right now, and I think I maybe like this idea, is that there's just a separate node process that's running that is receiving MIDI. And do I like this idea or not? Sometimes I can't tell. Sometimes I really can't tell if I like an idea or not. Reasons I don't like this idea is I don't like programming on the Pi to the Pi, and that's the main reason I never do GPIO. But I can. It's just slow. It definitely simplifies things to not need that other device. And I don't want to cram in random lighting stuff into the plugin that is already pretty lean. See, Terrier Darts, sometimes you gotta just go with your gut. Another thing I don't like is that I'm not playing Sudoku right now. So that's a problem. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're definitely gonna talk to this light via MIDI. That means either we have a little MIDI coprocessor, which I kind of like the idea of because of the absurd excess, but I think I'm not gonna do that. I think we're gonna try to use the GPIO pins, which means I should solder some female headers to this. And then I should also do what? What also should I do? I should also Terror Darts, you're not stupid. That's not true at all. I've seen your puzzle. It's a work of art. Also, I want to be clear, these are made up problems that I'm making for myself. And so it doesn't okay, say we have a thing that is a Node.js script and it's going to know how to, it's going to be a MIDI, like how, like the testing of this seems pretty annoying. What is everybody always telling me to, Terrier's been working on a puzzle. It's on the Discord, but it's not done yet, right, Terrier? I think it looks cool. Looks pretty cool. I mean, I don't know about these. I don't know about the yellow with these colors, but you know, other than that. Why is there a 6 over here? Wait, why does this puzzle already have some clues in it? Did I start this? I didn't do this. Is this your link where you were working on it? Maybe I did start it. Did I start that? Where's the puzzle that you started of my logo? That's the important thing. Okay, here's the only thing I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know. Here's the only thing I don't know in this tiny instance is when using one of these undefined dudes, what can I send? Like, if I want to send my own for a more detailed table with data bytes included, official MIDI control change list. So say it's like CC 102 or something. Can I still send the 7-bit value I would normally? That I would normally expect? What is that RT MIDI? Like, That's the library we're using underneath the world, right? But we have the node MIDI. You have to do something special to send a control MIDI? I just don't know. I mean, obviously we can do... So that's send a MIDI message. So could I just send message with, like, how do I do this? And how am I going to be able to know that it is working is the weird. How can I know? It's going to be a little hard to test. I mean, or is it? Is it? Like a MIDI CC list, 27 control change messages. But like, what is it? Okay, I didn't really want to do that, but thanks. I just don't know enough about anything. The official MIDI. A lot of documents. How do I use them? Yeah, but I don't want... I need a little... I gotta be a little lower level here. Like, MIDI CC... I assume it's some... Okay. Can you do me a favor? Okay. Okay, so like note on, and it's this thing where you use just these. Oh, that don't seem right. Oh, but it's the weird thing where it's like, why is it always only 7? I'm sure there's a reason for that, but. So with a note on, so we can count up to 127 here, count up to 127 here. So there's 2 bytes. So in this case, your first byte, what is N though? Is that the channel number? Yes. So that's a 0 in this case. So what is that? 0, 2, 4, 16, 32, 64, 128. Am I thinking this wrong? Is that not just 127? Why does it not just... I should know this. I'm sorry, 128. Maybe 127 if it was all the ones below. But that doesn't make sense to me because a note on... That's the note on event. And then if channel is 0... Is that true then? Maybe that is just true. But like, Oh, is the music too loud? I'm sorry. I feel like this is the exact temperature. This is the exact temperature the music always is. Maybe that song is just extra loud. Oh, Kage, are you okay? I'm sorry, that's the note off event. Okay, this is the note on event. Maybe that's why I'm confused. That's okay, that makes much more sense. So that is easy enough. So how do you send control change? This message is sent when a control value changes. Controllers. Can I do whatever I want here though? Oh, Kagas, I'm sorry to hear that. You need to soak in some Epsom salts or just rest. Okay, so I think control change, we can send whatever we want. Channel mode messages. I see. Oh, we could also do sysx. Would that be smarter to do sysx messages? Kaga's not worried about you. Okay, our options are to like co-opt a control message or use a sysx, which would be way easier. But maybe control is fine. I've used sysx before, but I don't remember what it was for. For Mata? Okay, so let's just like run through some things in our brains here. Send MIDI out. So with this scenario, we'd have a node script running that was receiving MIDI events. How can you do that? So I would like create. It would be a virtual port. That's what I'd have to do. That's what it would be. But stupid Windows can't do this. I had to stop taking ibuprofen. Not allowed anymore. Stuff is rough. Okay, so we could make a new input and call it whatever we want and do a thing. So this would be very simple. The only part about this that's annoying is how to test it is actually not trivial. You know, it's not super easy because it has to create a port here and then connect to the port from somewhere else to test, which is going to be a little annoying from the Homebridge side of thing. A very silly thing to do would be to just connect everywhere. And it sucks too, because I'll want to be able to take this up and down while I'm testing, but I guess I could just run like, I'm gonna do this. I guess let's just start and we'll figure it out. So here's my thinking on this, and I'm overthinking it, but that's fine. Is that this Homebridge MIDI library, I want to only speak MIDI because I want to release it and use it in other projects, like in that hyper specific way. I don't want to add other logic to it to do other stuff. And not that it would hurt to do that, but I would like to keep that streamlined. And just the nature of Homebridge makes it a little annoying to develop with anyway. And so I would like to have this part in isolation. Like the thing that's going to control the lights, I don't want to be driving the NeoPixels directly from that plugin. I want that plugin to just be that plugin and do what it does. So this is going to be its own process. The plugin is already sending and receiving MIDI already, because it is receiving MIDI from the MIDI keyboard and then sending it to FluidSynth. And so because that is already happening and it's already built that way, there may be other reasons that I would want to send MIDI different places. In fact, there are, now that I say that, because another thing I want to add to this is the ability to expose something in HomeKit that is MIDI controllable, because I have these other projects that I'm working on that are these MIDI sculptures that I want to also appear for input, not just output. And so all of this, I guess, to summarize that, I have other plans for this library that I want to keep it in a certain way where it's really only speaking MIDI. And so what my previous plan was that this device would receive MIDI, and that was just the plan, and it's no problem. I'm just going to have this other little script make a virtual MIDI port and receive it, and we'll just happen to be running on the same machine. So that's fine. WebSockets, I would have similar issue, is like, I guess I'd just have to be sure I was reconnecting. That's the thing we could do. You'd want to connect my name, maybe. Anyway, what I'm thinking is that I just, in the config for the Homebridge plugin in Homebridge, you would just say output messages to these ports, and then it would just send whatever. So and I'm comfortable with that, like as an idea of how I want to make this. The thing I just hadn't really conceived of is how I want to develop it. But I think I know now. Something like MIDI-Pixel or something like that. So there's just going to be this. Homebridge receives. Well, that's an interesting point, actually. Homebridge currently, my plugin does receive from the MIDI keyboard. But I mean, you're just making me think like, oh, it actually should be able to receive from anything, and then I'll optionally just have that pass through and have it appear as a switch, for example. So that MIDI is kind of the broker in between. And all of this is not that MIDI is the best idea here. It's just that I'm so fed up with all these new protocols, and MIDI has worked for 40 years. And so I want to, as part of the art statement here, is that I like MIDI and I hate Matter and Thread and all of the other stuff that doesn't work. So, in fact, if we could just like truly make it all MIDI, that would be great. Just like run MIDI cables everywhere. Okay, but I think this is what this is going to be. I really don't like developing on a Pi, but we can't do virtual ports on Windows, and we'd have to like set the Mac up for streaming or whatever. So let's just do this. It'll be fast enough, I think. Except I don't even have. This is funny because Node is installed. It's just. Where is it? Yeah. I guess I could just add that in my path, right? You can, but not with RT MIDI. Not with this. This particular library that I'm using, that I like and that I've used a lot, doesn't support virtual ports on Windows. It is possible, and there are tools to do that for sure. But I mean, this specific whatever it is, RT MIDI does not support virtual ports on Windows for whatever reason, or at least the wrapper library I'm using doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. And I mean, I'm already using this library, so I'm going to continue to use it. I just mean as far as like building this out on Windows, I can't build it exactly as is. But it's fine. Although we really should probably not try to write this like a crazy person. Oops, that's a secret. Okay, it wasn't too secret. Man, I really hate that. Open view and just have work open. But I don't think there's anything to... I think it's fine. Probably not supposed to show that, but I don't think. I don't think I need to go blur it out. Okay. Thanks. I mean, I have definitely on stream shown. I don't think I've shown anything that was like a major thing. I think I would like really get in trouble for an NDA. I think I've come close, but I've definitely shown like parts of projects that are NDA'd, but at least it was like some little piece that was so in isolation that you'd never know. But okay, so oops, that's not what we want. And to start with, let's just list ports. Will we wait for Visual Studio Code to work ever? That's const, huh? Oops. No, not that. Let's try to type correctly. Oh, I do that every time. Every time I'm working with a web API, it is guaranteed that it will show the tokens. Like it's guaranteed. I've shown the tokens for heat 7 million times and I've had to reset them. And it's especially annoying with heat. The signing secret for the web tokens that I use to validate. The process to revoke, and it sucks, really. The process to revoke them and then generate a new one is obtuse, unsurprisingly, because the Twitch API sucks. Oh, is this going to take all eternity? This is a slow computer. Is it broken? It's Raspberry Pi 2. It's a slow machine. I can't tell if it's broken or not. It's not doing anything. What's going on? Did this work? I guess so. Okay. It seems like it's doing something. Okay. Does that work? Yes. RT MIDI output client. Who's that? Oh, is that smart? Wait, maybe I have a smart plan. Oh yeah, well, that stuff I would normally stick in a I don't know if this is really the standard process with Python, but like in a .env file. Problem is, there's still places that will just show the environmental variables. Like the Docker stuff, normal Docker doesn't support secrets, only Docker Swarm does, and so setting secrets there is really obnoxious. And I've shown all those secrets. I've shown all my Twitch keys 1,000 times. All that it's poorly conceived. Okay, I have a new idea. Is this a good idea? The RT MIDI output client. Why is that there? Can you have a virtual... Is this the smarter idea? Is to not work, is to just say like, I'm gonna send, okay, I'm being inarticulate, but I'm confused by this. What am I actually doing? Why is there an output port? So we create MIDI out, and that's the MIDI in. So MIDI out. So it connects to the one in, which is, what's its face over there? The launch key. And the MIDI output port is fluid synth. But why do I have Why do I have this? That seems weird. To let other software. So that becomes an input. Would be messages from there. The virtual port, which is a virtual input. What is this port? My keyboard not working. To probe. But like, am I just not thinking about this correctly? I'm pretty confused, honestly. Like, because that output client should explicitly be, I mean, that's how I'm talking to. Okay. I think I'm definitely confusing myself. Oops. I'm confused. I'm confused. Like, I'm confused as to why these ports are showing up. These RT ports. I said output client, but that's showing up. Like, can I just connect to that? Is that like creating a virtual port implicitly or something? Confused. Okay, I don't know. Probably a silly thing to do, let's do it. Oh. Maybe it starts with, or what's it called? Is that not a thing in JavaScript? I can't remember. It is, isn't it? I don't think this is going to work, but it's going to be, I'm just really curious about these weird mystery ports. But presumably output ports. Yeah. Okay. So that wasn't actually a meaningful thing to do. Almost like it sent something in there. So can do this though. Say. Probably a reason this doesn't work. Oh, that's weird though. How can you do a bunch of them if you have to have created this? But you can have, doesn't it say you could have multiple or whatever? Or can you open more than one port? Like, can you open... But that's gonna make more than one happen, right? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. You do. You get the... That is really surprising. But I'm a little confused. Is that the message that is... So the issue here, I think this is funny and weird, but it's a little hard. I guess you just have to wait for it to appear. So this thing just like pulls and waits for that to show up. I think this, well, what is this? Which one is this though? Like, how do I put this? Is this the data that is going into coming in from the keyboard or going out to the what's its face, Fluid Synth? I don't know the answer. Everybody who has all the really fancy streams always has their windows all perfectly aligned and everything looks really nice, and I don't have that. Probably put more decorations on the screen. What's your problem? Oh, this is not the latest version. I don't think that's a problem. So I guess like what I would want to know is like wherever we're sending, like we'd want to be able to do this. A little tricky. Like where are we saying? Check the buffer. Message comes and check the buffer. And this is where we would say, hey, something cool happened. So I'm just going to inject this in here. Wait, we don't have an output here. That'd be annoying. Well, because we'd want to know if like, oh, do we have partial progress? Is something cool happening? But I guess a place we can start, just to see if this thing that seems to be true is true, which I do not know if it is. That we could say, some very obvious number. I'm gonna stop streaming pretty soon and go eat some food. I would like to feel like I know if this is gonna work or not. So disconnecting this is gonna break this MIDI connection, which is a little lame because I don't know if you can know like if there's like an on close event or something. That is a downside here for sure. So I kind of think that's the input message, which makes very little sense to me, unless this just didn't work. Oh, wait. I put it in the wrong place. That's, let's do it here. That's probably a bad thing to do. I think FluidSynth's gonna like that, but it's just a test. Just a test. What, ate the RAM? Oh, good question. I wasn't even paying attention. Node. Node. Seems like a lot, huh? It's okay, I have plenty of memory. Loads of it. So, what? That's weird because I'm not running anything. I think that's not. What if that's really true? I can't remember how Linux reports. Memory. Who knows what I've done? Who can say? Okay, so what were we doing? We were gonna try this. That actually, now I don't. No. Gotta build it. Oh, come on. Silly. You silly. Just try to build some stuff. I'm so used to automatic, whatever it is, HMR stuff in browser. I forgot. Sometimes you have to do things. This is so slow. I don't think that's a real error. Okay. There's certainly a better way to do this, right? I mean, it's kind of nice if I do get that for free. I mean, you know, that if there is just a virtual port that is already spewing everything out. Uh-oh. Did I break the pie? I slightly moved the pie. Did I break everything? I broke audio. Oh, it's back. Okay, never mind. So, but we're not seeing our fun secret. What is going on? I think I've made the computer angry. Something is deeply wrong. How did I crash Homebridge? What I don't like this stupid condensed mode here. What did we do? Type error. First argument must be. Oh, did I just What silly thing have I done? Probably this. It's just that we're crashing things. Let's wait 700 years. Oh my gosh, why is it? Oh. I hate writing things on Raspberry Pi. And we gotta restart Homebridge every time we need to change the plugin, and it's just a whole thing. It's just a whole thing. I want to stop. I want to take a break. I want to eat. I want to make a meal of some description. Okay, that's actually good news that sounds bad, because that means that is so interesting. So by connecting to Fluid Synth, RT MIDI is just making a virtual port that we can seemingly just grab onto. That's pretty cool, right? So I guess, is on the only message, or like the only event? I guess you just have to like iterate. You have some timer that's checking is port open, and if it's not, it reopens it, I guess. To reconnect there, but that actually makes that relatively painless. So then the thing to do is decide, like, what do we want to send? You can send sysx messages where you just send whatever you want, but there's some other fluff with that. Or I think we could send control messages, which is, where's our MIDI chart, our fun MIDI chart that we found? Did I lose it? So control change. Why can't Google do this? I would expect this to work. But it doesn't. It does not. Is that actually right? With that as the channel, which would be 0, and then there is the control message, and then there's the value. So then we find another thing that was like, yeah. So these are, in case you need. So these are, can I do whatever I want with these? Is that fair to say? Because basically the events I guess I want is it's a very short list. It's like, is a note matching at all? Okay, so like the system could be idle, right? Meaning it's whatever color it is, or it's whatever it's doing while it's idle. Or Maybe it does some visualization as you press notes. I don't know. And then like once you've started to match, like once you've started matching a sequence, if you're in progress matching a sequence, maybe you want to know that. So you kind of want to know when a key is pressed. I guess anytime a key is pressed, you want to know, is it a good match? Like, is it part of the sequence? Or you want to know if it is a lame match? Or do you want to know if it is like you have completed the sequence? I guess those are the three things that you would maybe care about. Is like, have I fully found a match and I'm gonna do an event, which is everybody's a big celebration? Or is it, so I guess those are the three we'd start with. So we could make those 101. Well, it's funny actually. Do we care about the values in those cases? Kind of don't. I mean, if we just send those as 3 different events, 102, 102, 103, 104. So we do need to have some kind of, let's see how it works. Let's see. We probably want that to live on the class. But what did we say? That math? What did math tell us? Math told us that we want, not 144, 176 for a control message. So basically we would be doing 176 and then 102 and then a 0. If we don't care what the parameter is, maybe we do, maybe we don't care what the parameter is. Makes life a little easier if we don't care. So I guess I shouldn't be doing any of this actually, because we're not where we think we are. We're not I think we're just, where's the rest of how about that? Okay. So up here we will want what's wrong with you? Why are you angry? Is this something I was trying to do? I need to register the platform. What is the deal? I don't know if that's gonna work or not. Unclear. Anyway, so we want MIDI input. Is this typed? Guess not. Oh, MIDI output. And MIDI input. And then we want to say check the buffer. Or like whatever. Uh, 176 with the status, something like that, with the assumption that we would get different statuses. I feel like that may have broken something with that export statement. I guess we'll find out. Oh. I don't know. I know that I'm hungry for food and for Sudoku. I hunger. No Sudoku Terry, what are you talking about? What are we even doing then? This is an embarrassment and a disgrace. A disgraceful embarrassment. A disgusting, disgraceful embarrassment, even. Where did I put the thing? This thing. Let's restart this. The one that I posted, the 11 goes to 11. Or the second of the ABC color ones. I think that's what you mean. It's the second of the ABC ones. ABCDE. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to do that one. Maybe I will someday. The one I posted, the 11 one is really cool. I did like that one quite a lot. Okay. What is D? Oh, it's a delta time. I don't know if that's relevant. Okay, so you can see we are getting our little 176 MIDI control messages. So that is frickin' cool, everybody. Do you like things that are frickin' cool, Terry Darts? I think that things that are frickin' cool are frickin' cool. That's what I think. So now we have to try to use this Neo. Okay, Terry Darts does not think that's cool. Terry doesn't think things. Terry doesn't like anything. He doesn't like me. He doesn't think anything's cool, and that's fine. Terry Darts likes two things: darts and the local sports team, the Terriers. Did I get that right? What are they called? Okay, so now this is the moment we've all been waiting for. This is definitely not going to work, though. It could still work if I use SPI, right? And then I don't have to worry about privileges. So no one cares about privileges. What is the current way that people would run a random Node.js script on Raspberry Pi at startup? I used to use PM2 for that, but I don't know what the... Oh no. Error, not okay. Yeesh. Is it some bummer of a thing where this was updated only 7 hours ago, but where like this is out of date or something? I mean, if we have to, we could. I don't want to though. That's the thing. Updated a month ago. It's not that old. Command failed. The terrier, you know, the Devonshire's-Berry Terriers, the Yorkpool Terrier, sorry. I hate stuff like this. What is your problem? What's your actual problem? I don't remember Git contents. Huddersfield Town. The old Huddersfield boys. These warnings, or is this an actual error? Okay, what is the actual error? There's no member Git contents. Like a V8 array buffer has no Git contents. Is that true? Is this version of Node 2 recent? That says last published 2 years ago. And this says merge of a pull request. So this has not been updated for 7,000 years, it looks like. That's lame. That's too bad. And this command doesn't actually like let you do all this stuff you want. So, and like, why are there so many? Why? Why are there bindings for every language except for JavaScript? I don't want to write this in Python. Now my feelings are sad. Oh. Just point it to, can I just point it to that repository and say, hey, just totally. I mean, I assume that that Python is just a wrapper for the C library, right? Wait, where were the, wait. Oh, is this its own little land? Interesting. I'm afraid of ChatGPT now. At first, I just didn't like it very much. Now Dan is going to get me. I know Dan is going to get me. Dan is on his way right now. I mean, I have no special affinity for that particular library. Think about this one. Published more recently. I just don't care. I don't care enough about that other thing. If this one works, then great. Okay, this Paradise, this is for you. If you're running this on a Pi 0, you take note. Okay. So how do we do, how do we make it work? Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry, you have a Pi 1. It's a Pi 1 or a Pi 0. Those are the same processor, I think, right? And the Pi 2 is more like, the biggest bummer, well, whatever, there's lots of big bummers, but I was the Pi 0W2 is a cool thing. And is on par, I think, roughly with a Pi 3, but there's only 512 meg of memory. So I was trying to do some like weird graphics stuff, but there's not very much memory. I'm gonna probably use most of it. Double Pis. You just do one Dockerize, put Docker on that Pi 4, put everything on there. Are you printing cool stuff? What are you printing? How do you specify the, I see, it's this. So in here, We would do this with how many LEDs are there? 16? It's gonna work. Everything's been breaking so much lately that I'm just shocked when anything works. Like if anything... What? I want to see some cool prints. Requires being run with root privileges. That's sad. That's sad. But we can run this. Good grief, where is it? Did I not do this correctly? I think I didn't. This needs to be 12. Probably just killed audio. Oopsie. What do you think the defaults are? Can't actually tell. I don't think it's working. The other thing worked. Why doesn't this work? What do we, we're not blocking up here or something, are we? No. So we said get the native thing, and we said that it is WS2812, which I believe to be true. That seems like 5 volts, that seems like ground, that seems like we are on GPIO 12. This example looks so different. Okay, let's try this one instead. Oh, that would have, okay. That's probably why. We weren't actually. Why do these not really match? Okay, sorry. Let's try channel options. But there's only 16, and we want GPIO 12. What do you think of these? The DMA I'm a little nervous about. Frequency as well. Why do you think this, is this just a typo, or is this color array? I think that's just supposed to be this. A little typo in the... There's lots of weird typos in here. Okay, that is not what we would expect, though. It's a nice banana color. Is the pixel order wrong? Wish I could quit this. Did I break the pie, or what are we doing? Did that freeze the pie somehow? The DMA issue? I think we broke the pie. Too bad. That's a sad story. I wonder if it was a DMA thing, because I remember there being a note about that. Close the other window. typo 6 here. So it sort of feels like a pixel order thing, but anyway, I think we've maybe broke the pie. Hopefully it comes back. I guess it'd be a good time to stop the stream if it doesn't. Oh, I gotcha. I want you to print a statue of Kages. So, like, do you think that's just the default DMA? I'm a little worried about it because I remember a warning. Default is 10, so I think it's okay. The GPIO, so what is this supposed to be like number of pixels? We want GPIO 12. Strip type. Like weird constants for that, right? I expect that to be. How come I'm in an elevated shell here? How come I couldn't run this? I am elevated. Okay, but now I'm afraid. Is there something obvious that I'm doing incorrectly? Maybe an earlier run broke it? Like, these are probably fine, right? The color was weird. Unless it like immediately broke. Just the instant I sent anything. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. This is probably gonna break it. Gotta say. I anticipate brokenness. Ready? Go. It turned red. But pie's broken? Is it? No. Pie's not broken this time. Okay, so that's good. You see my glowing red hand? Oops, I accidentally unplugged it. Now it's probably gonna break when I try to plug it back in. 5 volts and ground. 10, 12. Run this again. Okay, so what are we gonna do here? Oh, look at these prints. Adorable. Look at your little coffee filter holder. It's so cute. I should print that, or print. I have AeroPress filters, but I could print a little AeroPress thing. Cool Overwatch. It's a pretty nice looking print. Love it. Thanks for sharing. Look at that spice rack. I should print more household things. Cool. I only print bad iterations of designs where I do a bad job and then I just have to print things over and over and over again. Getting a little better at it though, I think. Okay, so look at that. What's going on over here? Is this when I start node? Okay, so let's do. Oh, that's cool. I like it. Looks good. Oh no, did I just dox you? Did I just show your name on stream? I'm sorry. So, what I think we want to do here... Did I tomato the face? Okay. I don't want anyone to know that my name is Scott. Oh no. Watch this. Should I just always stream like this? What's that ticking sound? I mean, it could be a nickname. Oh, dang it. Scott could just be a nickname. My real name might be Simon. Or Beauregard. Or Jehoshaphat. Or... Where's pin 12? Could be any of those things. What happened to the place? Where did it go? Oh, you... Wait, down here where it says Scott Garner? I don't know, that's just a... That's a nickname. I think I should just start streaming like this. Dark Scott. It's finally... I knew this day would come. I finally snapped. Oh boy, addresses. Yeah. I think... That still hurts my eyes, even though I'm looking at the back of it. Oh no. Uh-oh. What did I do? What did I do? Did we break the pie again? Oh, jeepers. Nah, it's fine. Everything's fine. What did I do? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Bafflingly, though, only one is lit. Did it break my NeoPixel ring? Why is this not appearing in my... There we go. It doesn't smell like a problem. Okay, finally Dark Scott rises. Okay, so that's cool. So this actually is easier than I thought it was, even though it's still going to be a little bit annoying, but it's not too bad actually. We'll want to do a little bit of let me think about this actually. How could we... Just kidding. Switch over here. Do I? I don't know. I feel like I have enough. I have enough working microcontrollers that I don't use. I don't think I have a use for more broken ones. I think I'm gonna start streaming like this. What if we made it? Okay, I just want to what do I want to do? That is LED count. And let's do the channel count. Set the channels. Okay. It's making me mad that I can't hit up arrow and have this command. Okay, how about blue? Is that better? I mean, you know, I don't like it if someone gives me 12 volts on the data pin. And speaking of, this is working with only 3.3 volts on the data pin. When I thought specifically these WS2812s didn't want to do that, and I was going to have to use the little, you know, the little dude, the little, you know, the thing, the little logic step up friend. But I don't think we have to do the logic step up friend. How about this? Oh man, I gotta solder some pins on here, huh? What's up? Wait, are you sure? Even on the 12s? I thought the 12s explicitly wanted more power. Wait a minute, I don't believe you. That's not, at least on the 2812s. What is that what they are? I mean, if you look at Adafruit, NeoPixel, ring, doesn't it explicitly say? Because I had another project that I had to step it up. This doesn't seem to care. Where was that? Was it the WS Octo WS2812? I think you can get away with 3.3 volt on a lot of them, but I thought it was like, yeah, some of the latest WS2812Bs require 5 volts. You must. Okay, so maybe it was only these specifically. So I had to do the little step up, dude. This says 3.3 volt signals work well. Okay. I mean, I definitely stepped them up for the big LED, dude. What is that BFT lighting panel? Should I not have? I thought I read that it wanted 5 volt data. I mean, it's possible that I could have gotten away with 3.3 on them, but I thought I saw that these explicitly. A data sheet for these. But I think it's only the 12s, the 2812s, I think. And maybe not even all of them. So maybe these that I have are maybe fine with a lower voltage. Oh, really? That's funny. So my feelings will be hurt by my own self if I didn't need to make that circuit as complicated, but I'm pretty sure for the specific panels for Yeah, these are 2812Bs, and I'm pretty sure these did demand. But maybe it's only the Bs, so maybe because this is this 2812B or just 2812? $2812. It's pretty weird that it doesn't show the voltage. Anyway, these are happy at the moment with 5 volts. 2812. Oh, well then maybe this is just mislabeled, or maybe they just didn't put the B on here. I'm just going by what's in the back of the little Adafruit thing. But isn't it weird that this wouldn't show the... What do you think this would say? Hey? Probably 5 volts, 15, etc, etc. Like, would you expect this to tell you? Or is it just implicit? Okay, this says, okay, 2812P must use 5 volt power supply and pixel LED controller to control. So I think the 2812Bs do require 5 volts. I mean, maybe you can get away with it, but I didn't want to risk it for that giant sign. Well, I'm sure there's some tolerances, but I guess that's what they're rated for. Anyway, I mean, I feel confident that the ones that I have in there, the panels that I did the little step up dude, that it was not a bad decision to do 5 volts now. You had me worried. But this seems fine with 3.3. So I'm not. So it's no big deal. So did I break this again? That's not the right pinhole. I put it in the wrong hole. Okay, we've got the blue. Oh, you think it's just... That could be... I don't know. It's annoying that I can't find the exact data sheet for that thing, but it's working. So I'm fine. In fact, that's probably what I think that's what that thread was. That just somebody had found that they had a particular strip that they had to drive at 5 volts. And I had that happen before on another project. Wait, sorry, you linked it to that's... Oh, to the data sheet for the LEDs. Yeah, but that's not the B, right? Or is the B implicit in here? Because it's 5 volts. This is 12 volts. But where's a 5 volt? I just put a B right here. It was a good try. Oh, it's a capital B. Oh my gosh, what a good guess. I mean, it looks like you're right. But why is that scary then? Wait, I'm confused by this. Oh, that is the maximum low. I see. That's the maximum low, and that is the minimum high. Right? Okay. I think I was just not reading that well. Lights red. Terry, do you like the red lights better? Yeah, I see. I mean that makes sense. But you're right. That is technically 0.35. But it's 0.35. I do have. I mean, that ends up being. Those are long strips that essentially end up being long cables, especially when they're chained together. So. Should we? Did you just censor the word Sudoku? I see. It is very close, but I don't want to risk it for like a job. So for the job, I feel fine that I stepped it up a little bit. Oh, that's true. Paradise, I believe you. I'm just giving you a hard time. It was not what I'm questioning is not what you're saying. I'm questioning like, oh, did I actually have to go through the trouble to design that circuit to step the voltage up to 5 volts? But I feel like that was not a bad idea. I think it was a reasonable. I don't think it was a bad idea, and I think in terms of reliability, I feel better that it is there. Yeah, and that's what made me worry about it. Is specifically like I feel like Paul Stoffergen is the world's foremost expert on microcontroller controlled LEDs, and he very specifically called that out. And so on a previous project, I got scared by that and very specifically was like, oh, I'm gonna just do that. So I just used this 74 ACT. Okay, so what were we doing other than lurking in the darkness like a bunch of weirdos? We were gonna try to decide how we wanted to do this. I'm just trying to think of like what's the visual effect I want, you know, especially not really knowing how the diffusion is gonna work. I'm pretty torn on that, frankly. Pretty torn. I had thought I wanted to stick that on the inside, and now I think that I don't. I think I want it to go on the front. Because then I get to do this full ring, because I think this little ring is cool. Even though the 3D printed diffuser is not the best looking thing on earth. So, what do we want to happen? Like as you're keying in, as you're like typing in a sequence, should it like be going around the ring or something? The problem is you have no idea of the progress. I guess you sort of do, unless there's like if you know you're on your way to a song, you could do progress, and you could do like dimness so it lights up kind of as you go. Like whatever the sequence is. Okay, so I don't know. Let's do this quickly, and I'm gonna go eat some food, I think. So, what I'm imagining. Hey Siri, stream. What I'm imagining. Hello there. Seems so bright now. What I'm imagining is the following thing: is that when we check the buffer, we want to get a status back. Oh Ben. Listen, if you want to do weird. Hello, Ben, by the way. I'm not that interested in tabletop role playing, except I love these. Like, I misspelled that. like where people are doing the crazy stuff where they're like projecting down on their tables. I think that looks so freaking cool. Just to add like secondary effects on their models. Was this the one? It's so cool. And then they can just like draw on an iPad to project down. It's so cool. It's simple too. It's just a projector. It's so simple. All you have to do is spend 7,000 hours building a miniature table. And that's it. Yeah, it's pretty freaking rad. So speaking of Fog of War, that is there is a set of, it's relatively new, I think, but like a Sudoku Fog of War constraint. Maybe we should do a Fog of War puzzle today. It's pretty good. We could easily imagine like animations or like spells or whatever. Because you could, you could just trigger, you could just be like triggering particle effects or something. It's pretty good. I like it. I did a Fog of War puzzle. I've done exactly one Fog of War puzzle, and it was really good. And actually, Terrier, for me and with my problems with Sudoku, I feel like Fog of War actually makes it easier, because then you know that the solution to your problem is in a little window, right? Like you know exactly where to start. So I think that actually makes Fog of War puzzles easier in some ways. I wonder if Brian Versteeg has posted more cool stuff. Concept designer. Oh no, Brian Versteeg is going to be... That's cool. Cool. I haven't done a ton of projection mapping. I know a little bit. The main issue I don't like about it is I could figure it out. I'm sure somebody's just done it, but like, I just don't like the software. I don't want to deal with MadMapper. I want to, I've done very simple things where you like set up fake geometry in Unity and then project on the fake geometry and then project that. But not quite the same. I'm sure I could figure it out. Cool. Why? Why would you want to do this? Why would you want to? Why would you do that? It's cool, but why would you do it? Man, we gotta get into miniatures. Okay. What were we doing? Oh, we're not even connected over here. Oh, Paratus, you know what that huge spike was? I think it's the stupid VS Code process that they run to let you connect. I think that huge spike is VS Code. Well, you can see the CPU is a bit unhappy. Ben, you just got to make everything out of trash. Just find everything and make all your miniatures out of trash. That sounds cool. It sounds kind of sinister. Lightfall. Summerland. It's a cute little train car. Spooky forest. Ooh, that's really pretty. Cool. That just looks not real. I Okay, so I want to do what? I could just give everyone my Windows Hello key because you can only use it on this machine, so you have to break into my house. So that's something I actually, it would be okay for me to dox myself with, right? What am I doing? That's not a, well, okay. So let's do some stuff. Let's have a, how do you do this in TypeScript? Is it just enum status? What are the three statuses? No match, or like, you kind of want to know if you're like, if you've achieved a match, or if you're like, you know, like off sequence, on sequence, or there's a match, I guess. So you could have like a, oh yeah, by the way, you just do this. Why is there a roller coaster in your park? Is there an amusement park? Oh, it's a theme park, I see. Okay, sorry, I misread it. I thought it was just like, that's just the city park with a roller coaster, that's all. That's just normal. So, oh, this is annoying. So if we trigger this, then status is equal to status dot, no, status dot match. And if we find, this is a little tricky. I guess if you find anything, it would be kind of like the buffer length. That's maybe a better way to do this. Well, you kind of want to say, so if there's no match, we bail. But if there is a match, we know that at least there's like status. We're on the sequence. And then just at the end of check buffer, return, where am I? Return status. And then up here, do what? We're gonna get the status and then send the status to our friend. Probably the best way to do that. I don't know. What is the name of the amusement park? Here comes a 30-second compile of a JavaScript file. This is very exciting. I'm sorry, transpile of a TypeScript file. Oh, Summerland was the name of the place. Does that have a mascot? Cute. Who are these weirdos? Is that a hedgehog? Is that a hedgehog and a squirrel? Okay, so now I have to go over here. I wish this would auto refresh if you update a plugin. Maybe there's a way to do it. Okay, what are the rides? In the middle of the forest. It has attractions and fun for the entire family. Except all. What is my height? The Fornix? How do you say that? Skovturen? Savan? The Virvelvinden? Love it. Looks fun. Oh, a phoenix. Okay, that checks out. I'm gonna go. Fun miniature golf. Everybody's so happy. There's an obstacle course for the whole family. A climbing wall. Volcano. Okay, let's go. Oh, I'm there. Let's do it. Okay, so we now have to connect this. So we sent a 102 twice. Why would we do that? We only want to do that if there's a match, which this should be. No, this should be. That's funny that it waited until... Why was it not... Okay, obviously my logic is bad logic. Oh, because we don't want to overwrite it after that. No, we don't, though. So I saw the 4 in there. We've got multiple downs. There's something weird about the... check buffer. We really only want to check buffer, though, if it's a key down. So why... We don't really want to do... That's not true. We want to pass that through either way. I see. So, but I think it is fair to say that we only do... What are you mad about? Can't even save. I break something? I saved too many times? Hey Siri, stream. Did I break the pie? Oh, come on. Break the pie? Pie appears to be dead. Bummer. How did I break the pie? Did I just look at it funny? I mean, I just have wires hanging out of the side. Uh-oh. I think I probably shorted something. Well, maybe we just lost all that work if we corrupted the SD card. I guess we'll see. Okay, I'm definitely going to stop soon now. for serious this time. I mean it. I mean it. Seems like it's booting. Okay. I think we're okay. We okay? I think we're okay. Oh, did I just lose the work I just did here? That sucks. That sucks. Oh well, wasn't that much work. How did I don't even know what I did to break it, honestly. Okay, what? Okay, we didn't lose it. So that seems okay. But it seems like there was definitely a problem with my so we kind of want to say we kind of only want to do this if what is it? 176? And then over here, so we're saying if it's a note press, I'm going to push it to the buffer. We're going to check the buffer. And then we're going to send that status to anybody who's listening. Anybody's listening. And we're going to check buffer. We're going to start out saying we are off sequence. We should only be on sequence. I guess if we make it past here, but what are we breaking is the 4. Like, it's a little hard to say. Like, I guess we would have never gotten here. Means there's like you're like there's some number. I'm not quite sure about my logic there. So let's try. Oops. Wait, did I already do this? Oh. No. Maybe. I don't. But I wasn't compiling it. I was just saving the file. But I have two. I have two Visual Studio Code connections, and it seems like those are pretty heavy. So maybe that's the problem. It does not surprise me that anything associated with Visual Studio Code would be bloated. Probably. I honestly couldn't tell you. I would assume so. I think so. Because this, I just used the Homebridge image, so I didn't do like the normal Raspberry Pi setup. You know what? Another thing it could be is power draw, like with the LEDs. Since right now I'm powering the LEDs from here, but I don't think so. I wouldn't expect it to just hard crash, but I guess I don't really know. Okay, so why can you not keep the path? kind of weird. There's a Wi-Fi connect. Why does it have its own node? But this isn't gonna work, right? Yeah. Oops. All right, we got a blue light. We got a 102 message. This should not be a 103 message. We got the 4, but why did I never get the 103? My logic is just bad. Put the 4. Hey Siri, stream. I need a song to play the string music. And yeah, obviously I need this. Scott made this theme song. Okay, I think my logic's just bad here, probably because I don't remember how I wrote this. But the idea that I thought was that if we didn't match at all, you would expect a break here. But I thought we would hear at least once. If the sequence was valid. Because what we say is, if the length is less, we set match equal to true. Oh, okay. Well, we kind of start with an inverse assumption here, because as soon as something isn't valid is when we do it. So probably the more appropriate thing is actually to do this and say, that's not true though. I mean, those are a little bit. So as soon as we find something that does not match, we bail. But if early on, and to be clear, oh, is this? You know, I think I had this as part of a, but I think those returns are, wasn't that how I was breaking out of something? Okay. I thought this is how I was bailing while iterating. But maybe that's not true anymore. Honestly, yeah, it is. It is. I see. Well, it's this every, which makes things a little confusing, honestly. These returns are actually what get us out of every. So we said we're off sequence outside of that loop, though, and so we're going to go through, and as soon as we, essentially we got to continue to the next with these. That's what these are doing, are either saying like, hey, we got it, we're good. And if we hit break, we're good. Which is kind of the opposite of what you'd expect. Natural return the buffer. That should be outside of the every. Right? The every is here. Every's a weird call. So we're saying match is true, but as soon as it's not true, we're out. But if you ever have an on sequence, if you ever make it this far, you have at least one note matching. I mean, you should essentially think of that as an else here. So why am I never seeing that on sequence? You know what I mean? Like, as soon as the match is false, and it's fine if match is false, but you would think that that on sequence would still, that I still would have hit that. What is wrong with my... What's wrong with my thinking here? So for each of those, we iterate through. Sorry, for every. It's different than a for each, which is weird. Every will let you bail or not. So we look through here. If on the first one, you know, if you never get a match, you would never have set that. But for all of the songs, you would think that you would make this here, or match would never be true. What silly thing am I not grasping? Because we essentially just want to say, like, hey, if you're on sequence at all, we want to know about it. You know, we want to celebrate. And status on sequence. Hello? It's 103. Weirdly, I felt like when we were accidentally sending, when we were looking at note downs, we were seeing those. Okay, sorry, I just am missing something. We'll just rerun everything and make sure that we're like recompile and restart and make sure we're actually running the latest. I didn't do something silly like hard code one of two somewhere or something. I know we initially did. We get the status and we send the status. It's funny that I can just choose to connect to that. I didn't know MIDI worked in that way. Okay, so we got plenty of memory anyway. 0.24 gig, it's plenty. Restart. Oh my gosh, it's 4 o'clock. Oh man, I haven't eaten any food. Okay, did that work? What has happened? If we skip this, go back here, and hit a button. Why? Get the 4. Why do we never get that 3? I just must not understand my own code that I wrote my own self. Hey Siri, stream. I mean, that almost makes it seem like this never happens, or this is called more often than I think. Like, am I accidentally calling? So it wouldn't make any sense. It's very possible. Sorry, where do? Oh yes, sorry, that is definitely a typo for sure. Well, it's actually not, weirdly, in this case. That is essentially an else. It's just, those were just kind of like scope brackets. Yes, it was a typo, but actually it should execute exactly the same. Weirdly. I mean, if anything, I would expect to get on sequence more than... That is 103. There's a match found. Try this. I mean, you can use, I do it all the time actually, just use brackets purely per scope. Like, they don't, you know, you can use brackets all day. Brackets are just mean their scope. You don't need an if or a for or anything with it. So I use them very frequently just to scope code. I didn't mean to do that here, but it is valid. I like that actually. That's a technique I just learned in the last couple years. It's just for like, rather than like big comment blocks or like something that have no real meaning, like a comment that says, hey, begin thing and end thing or whatever, just scope it. C++ will do that for sure. C++ will let you do that. C++ loves it. You can use brackets purely for scope. In C and C++. And C#. I don't know about Python. Yeah, it's just a scope, you know? It just means like, I use it for stuff like this. If I just want to say like, doing the thing, you know, and I know that thing is a thing that's just a thing that needs to happen. You could call it like a comment scope or something like that. I do this really frequently, just, especially if it's a long initialization procedure or something like that. I think most languages will let you do that. I don't know about PHP. Yeah, so, I mean, it's funny because it almost is just, I don't know if you can do that in Python though. Like in this, the reason I like it kind of is that you get an indent for free, just visually. Which just helps me visually in like really complex procedures to see what's going on. But I don't know that you could just like introduce arbitrary scope in Python. I kind of think you can. I can't remember if I started this or not. Yeah, brackets in C. Is there anything else that brackets can do? I don't think so, but I bet there is. I bet there's just some weird thing, especially in C++, because C++ is a... C++ is C++. I think you can, the way I think about it is that it is a way to define scope, and then the nature of that scope you can annotate. right? Like I have a scope here, and that scope is part of an if statement. I have a scope here, and that scope is part of a for loop or a while loop or something. I think that's the design conceit, at least the way I have learned to interpret it. I will say that's the only thing I've started doing in the last few years, but I really, really like it. But it's irrelevant here because it was just a mistake. What? Why? What? So those only happened once I matched the full sequence. Ah. Which is surprising because I would have, that still is sort of insane. So only once I match the whole sequence. I see, I know why. It's because if the buffer length, okay, well, I understand. Yeah, there was a video series that I watched. I think it was like someone talking about how object-oriented programming is bad, and then like changed his mind, but caveated a lot and saying like, okay, and it was actually a pretty big influence on me to do my current style of programming, which is basically procedural programming, like minimal functions. I mean, this is a bad example because I'm using somebody else's JavaScript, but you can see for the most part, I don't have a lot of methods. I have like procedures that I do things in. Again, not the greatest example because this is kind of, I'm using frameworks that are kind of require certain function calls. But my style is to have really long procedures and then kind of like logical scopes inside those procedures that are just often just empty scope. Like here's an example of me doing that. Like this whole MIDI setup block is just, I've scoped the MIDI in setup. Okay, so, right. I understand now. The issue is that I am being too aggressive with my filtering here because I'm requiring that the buffer length is the length I'm trying to match. Otherwise, I just skip it. But maybe I shouldn't. Because I would still break otherwise. I'm gonna see if I think this is a good idea. I'm not sure. Okay, I was just like, I wrote it more efficiently than I remembered writing it, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't implicitly like object-oriented programming. It's just that there's lots of things not to like about it, but there are lots of contexts in which it's like an uphill battle if you choose not to. Like in this, for example, this HomeKit library is designed such that I give an object that has certain methods that it expects, like conforming to an interface, basically. I don't think it technically is an interface, but and so I could obviously like write something in a totally different way, but I would still have to package it the way this library wants it. So I don't know. I mean, I'm fairly agnostic. I try to just do what seems like will be best for the given situation. Like Unity, for example, it's almost a requirement. I guess at some point I will try to move into ECS land, but just stock Unity, you're gonna have some objects. Okay, so I think I didn't do it right. That's funny. Why would it take that many notes? What? What? I do like Unity. I do. I use it for a lot of stuff. Ben hates it, but I mean, it's okay. It definitely has shortcomings, but versus trying to do all the things I do totally from scratch, Unity saves some time. What absurd... That's not even the right sequence. Okay. Okay, so I kind of see what the issue is. I mean, I get it. Ben, what software doesn't suck all the time, though? Aside from CNCJS, which is pretty good. I don't know why that's the one program that's good, but it is. It's the only program that... Yeah, I don't know. I feel like actually in the last couple of weeks I did find another piece of software that was good. Okay, I think we're causing problems here. It's funny that it matches. I am pretty anti-PHP, but only because of early abuses. I like Node pretty well. Yeah, I mean, a lot of games are pretty good. A lot of games don't run very well. Or are they too hard? They're too hard, and it makes me sad. I mean, but I don't know. I think there's way better ways to make a website that have nothing to do with PHP. Like, I don't like the notion that I need to run software to generate a web page on the fly is now offensive to me, and I only do static or like pull from an API. Like the core conceit of PHP, I argue, is a bad conceit, and it's never a good idea. But I know that's a strong stance, and I'm pretty heavily biased against PHP, but why would you need to run a program to show a file? Why would you need to create the file every time somebody looks at it? And yeah, I know there's like caching and things like that, but I think I think there's better ways to do that. And my preferred way is to just fully static, just build it statically, because the web is mostly a static place. PHP is not just for the back end. I mean, yes, you could use it to generate JSON or whatever, but like traditionally PHP is generating the content you're looking. It's generating the file you are loading is being generated. So preferably I have no backend and I just do fully static, and then I supplement that with either, now my style, for a long time my style was Node with Express. Now my style is totally serverless and just use serverless functions. So like, I don't use AWS Lambda. I use the Lambda functions from Netlify that are basically AWS. Mainly what I use now are Cloudflare Workers or Cloudflare Pages functions. Yeah, but why? Why? Like, most people don't need that. Most of the time you don't need that. You have software running that doesn't need to run. Like, every single time I hit a PHP web page, it runs software to take a template and populate that template with mostly static content. Because it's like, well, it's got to stick in the header and it's got to stick in the footer. But it's like, that stuff is mostly static. You could just generate all that at a static build time. And then when you do need an API, then have an API and use something more appropriately geared towards that. I guess I'm still behind the curve on that. I would probably start moving towards GraphQL for whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty anti-PHP. It's like, think about how much of the internet is run by WordPress. And so that, you know, by virtue of that, how much of the internet is run by PHP, which is a staggering amount, and how much of a waste that is because people are just injecting a static header into a static template over and over and over and over and over again. Like, makes me mad. It's not as efficient as not doing it. No action no action can be as efficient as inaction, especially multiplied again by like whatever it is, 70% of the internet or whatever crazy statistic it is. There's just no reason. There's no reason for that. And then instantly by doing that, by running software, every time you're sticking a footer on a web page, you now have security vulnerabilities because you're running software instead of just serving a file. So a blog is a great example of why that's terrible to do this, because how often do you post? You post what, once a month? Even if you post once a day and then 10,000 people look at your page, that page is generated 10,000 times, even though the content changed one time. So that's the whole premise between static site generation. So anything in SSG land. Hey Siri, stream. Like I would take any of these over. I'm sure there's a PHP based static site generator, right? But it's probably not. It's probably not really caching, because there's going to be all the other stupid stuff that you'd have on a blog, like view count or comment count or whatever. But I don't think you should do that. I still don't think it's necessary. It's still software that is running to do that. It's like I think static site generators make way more sense for whatever the 70% of the internet that is run by WordPress that is like on demand compiled. And yes, in that case, it's caching if you have the WP cache plugin. It's not implicitly caching, I don't think. Certainly not WordPress. Maybe PHP is by default at some configuration level. But it's just not necessary. It's not a necessary thing. Most content on the internet is very static. I don't blame PHP for WordPress, but WordPress is the reason that PHP is running 70% of the internet. It's not because people want PHP necessarily. I don't know anybody personally, and again, I'm not like a web developer, but I'm adjacent to that world, and who uses PHP? Everything is running on PHP because of WordPress. You're making a circular argument here. No way. I think any modern web development company studio is not using PHP. They're just not. They're using other terrible tools. They're using React. But I don't think they're using PHP for their backends, or they're using Firebase, or they're using some service from AWS, or they're using whatever for their backends. Because the ideal is you don't have a backend, because why would you need one if you're just serving text files, basically? I still think all of that is still tied into the ecosystem of the crazy dominance of WordPress. I don't even know. Is it Magento? How do you say that? Does that still exist? I mean, I think serious web shops are building things. I mean, it depends on where you are. I mean, Ask Life is yours. Are you out there svelting it up because you're the latest of the latest? I like Astro, it's very new. But just as far as like a web development skill set, like what's the marketable skill right now? Probably PHP because of terrible WordPress plugins. But I think React is sort of the go-to. Anti-PHP, staunchly. I want separate front end and back end. Facebook was based on PHP, and then it was so bad, didn't they have to write a PHP to C compiler because it was too slow? Like Mark Zuckerberg wrote it in PHP, and then no one bothered to make it good, and so instead of they realized it would be easier for them to. I can't remember the exact story on that. What was it? I definitely don't agree with the statement that most big sites are PHP backend. Definitely don't agree. Yeah, this was, I don't know if this still exists. This is discontinued. Do you something else now? I don't know what people use now. Why? Well, why? Why? I don't know. I mean, you're probably right that there are some web services that are PHP based, but I wouldn't say that's the norm, especially for maybe plenty of legacy code bases probably. I mean, there's plenty of legacy code bases that are at this point running Ruby on Rails, even though nobody has wanted to use Ruby on Rails in 10 years, but I'm sure there's still people using it just from 10 years of legacy. I don't know what happened to this, actually. Hip Hop Virtual Machine. Oh, it's like a JIT compiler, compile PHP. Anyway, I don't like it. I will always hate PHP because maybe they've fixed it, and I've barely used PHP in the last 20 years because I've gone out of my way. Certainly in the last 15. I started using PHP 25 years ago, which is crazy to say. So there was a window from 25 years ago to 15 years ago that I wrote a lot of PHP, and I hated the inconsistency of the like string function argument order, stuff like that was all over the place. What are you? I think these seem like very crazy statements. What are we looking at? Using most popular websites. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that PHP appears in some of these. Certainly Wikipedia. Certainly wiki-based sites don't surprise me because aren't those all in the same family tree? It doesn't surprise me to see it there. Oh my gosh. Look at this gross number. I mean, who knows what's Google's doing back there? Go, probably. I'll just go. This is sad. Do people still look at, wait, when is this true? Do 750 million people still look at, when is this data from? Who's looking at Yahoo? I question the timeliness of this data. I'm gonna have to have a citation needed for YouTube. Well, but this is nonsense anyway, because who, you know, like, it's weird to me that they would. What even is flow? It's kind of disingenuous. Like, JavaScript is a little silly here because, of course, like in reality, people are like 7 layers removed from the JavaScript they're writing in a lot of cases, right? With depending on whatever framework they're using. Etsy still MySQLing it up. Good job, Etsy. I don't know. I definitely I could question these numbers. Is it that different? I don't feel like it's that different. The world has been so trending towards like a monoculture of React on the front end. I mean, I don't like the places. A lot of the places I'm seeing PHP here are extreme legacy instances. Like, who's picking PHP today? Yahoo. Only Yahoo. That's pretty funny. I guess I shouldn't be surprised at all. That being an MSN or C#. Is this true? Do you think this is really true? I don't know what to tell you, but I don't tell you what's going on in Denmark. You can give me examples all day. I still don't think that PHP is a modern choice, and I definitely know that I don't like it. So I will not entertain the idea that I don't not like it. It's kind of surprising. Like, I guess that's not too surprising, actually. Maybe eBay's like been migrating to Scala over time. So I say Google does eat their own dog food. I guess Microsoft is eating their own dog food as well. I mean, I guess you kind of are assuming that anywhere you see JavaScript on the back end, it's Node. Well, no, because Node is shown independently. That's curious. Interesting. Still don't buy it. I think backends, I mean, like, like all AWS services, Google Cloud Compute services, Azure services, have to make up for such a huge portion of what is really running backend code, meaning like people just don't have servers. We're like 10 years into serverless, right? Okay, so that definitely didn't work. And I definitely need to eat food. I mean, I will admit, on purpose, I have not looked at PHP in probably 2012 was the last time I had to touch it. That's not true. Now, I've had to write some WordPress plugins since then, but that's the last time that I think I like consciously, maybe even before that. So I'm just confused about this. Like, why am I only hitting this? Am I bailing in some other way? Like, by returning true, I go to the next thing. That's weird. Yeah, I mean, my first PHP was kind of my first programming language. It wasn't really of like other like scripting languages or like, you know, keying in BASIC or whatever. And I learned it about the same time as C. I mean, there was a time when I was like, you know, I had a bunch of, yeah, early in my career, I did a whole lot of web development, and it was largely PHP, some ASP.NET, but mostly PHP. And that was before I switched to WordPress. That was years later. I hated PHP before WordPress. I already hated it. It's just WordPress, since I already knew it, was easy to write whatever templates or plugins. I don't know. You think that's true? I don't think that's true. I don't think. You're out of control. Then I wonder, like the language popularity, that stuff is so weird. Like are you serious? What a lunatic. Are you one of those people that writes command line scripts in PHP to just do tasks? Because I used to be one of those people. But it was 20 years ago. What if they fixed those issues from then of like inconsistent argument order that used to drive me so insane? Yeah. I like Node.js. The main reason I like Node.js is then I have one language for front end and back end, and it makes life pretty easy. In some ways. I mean, it has plenty of other problems, but it runs a lot of places, and JavaScript runs everywhere. Okay, I think I'm just tired and hungry because I just am not seeing this. Also, I will say that the syntax of every is really weird. It is very strange. So it really could just be something I'm not considering. That really makes it look like this never runs though. Like, right? It only runs on like the last time. I mean, certainly this was an issue. When we commented that out. Because we kind of want to say like, if we ever think if we even think we're headed towards something good. I guess the issue there is, no, I still like that idea. Because you want to say like, you don't care what you're matching. You just kind of want to know like, okay, I'm on track. But just in the interest of advancing this stream and being done, let's quickly do a, what? I just want to see them change, so let's write some very silly way. Okay, I'm started ready to write this, but I just want to I want to just vet the idea, and then at a later date we'll make it less verbal. Kind of don't have I don't know. Python kind of rubs me the wrong way for reasons I can't fully articulate. I can articulate some of them. Like, embedded Python just hurts my teeth. It makes my teeth hurt. I don't want the other way around. So we're not. There we go. Yeah, I think structurally it's weird, and which I'm okay with. And I mean, it generally does the job. It's just, I don't know. I don't necessarily like the idea of like just put it everywhere because it's so slow. And then if you're like, I'm gonna run a Python interpreter on a little embedded device, just doesn't feel good to me. I get it, it's easy, but it still doesn't feel good to me. Okay, did this turn green? Okay, this is green. I will say, I just tend to, and partially this is like when I learned, I guess, but what are we looking at here? Okay, try to hold this in such a way that we don't break everything. That color is green, by the way. So if we start typing, it should immediately turn red. Yeah. Oops. So we matched, so it's blue. Now if we hit a key again, it's going to be red. That's funny, we did get a single 103. It must be... I don't know, man. What is the first? There must be some way I'm handling those buffers. I just do not know what I'm doing. Hey Siri, stream. Okay, I'm gonna take a break. Maybe I'll stream some Sudoku later. Some part. I clicked the wrong thing. Some parts of this definitely went more smoothly than I expected them to. I think this approach is gonna work for us though, because this just means a little bit of soldering, and the most challenging part I think will be designing the little bracket to hold the light on the front. But it shouldn't be too bad, right? Not fully decided on how I want to do that though. But I think I do prefer it on the front. I think it looks cooler, or will look cooler that way. And things that are cool are cool. That's what I always say. Okay, Paratus, I'm sorry I argued with you about PHP. I'm glad you like it. I don't like any programming languages except for... I actually don't mind C#. C# is pretty all right. Actually, I don't mind TypeScript. Kind of like TypeScript. And does anyone use Perl anymore? What happened to Perl? It used to be that Perl was like the way you would just drop in and write a script. I never really got into it. I'm glad Ruby's dead. I never liked it. Except it's weirdly not. There's one place that Ruby is like in a zombie state, other than all the Ruby on Rails sites that were written 10 years ago, is GitHub out of the box only does static site generation for Jekyll, which is Ruby based, which is weird. But I don't know. I like current web development stack preferences. My personal site, we did the Astro port, and it's pretty good. Astro's okay. It's not perfect, but it's really new, but it's pretty good. And then some other work projects using Vue and what's its face, Parcel, and then like separately Cloudflare Workers or whatever for backend stuff. Just don't have a server. That's my solution, Peritus. No server. No server, no problems. It's not exactly true. In fact, I've had a lot of problems with heat in particular from not having a server. But okay, I think I'm done. Ben, thanks for stopping by. Peritus, thanks for stopping by. Pardon me. Terry Darts, thanks for lurking around. Kages, thanks for stopping by. I hope you feel better. We gotta fix the credits list. Life is yours. I forgot you were around today. Life is yours. I'm still not used to you being back. No, it's true. I guess I mean a server where it's like I have to, I mean, not the computer. I mean, like I have to write a server. And it's like, all right, I got to write this thing and it's going to run like I would normally do with Node and Express. Now it's just magical. Oh, life is yours. I was saving the best for last. You, the best. But since life is, oh man, I just got a ban. Since life is yours won't forgive me if I don't raid somebody, right? So we have to raid. And I'm so hungry. Let's go with just who's recommended. How about this person? Space 80, the final frontier. Wait, you don't know this time? Oh wait, you don't know who to raid, or you don't know if we should raid? I think like small, medium. How about this one? Nai Gogo? It just came up as recommended. I don't know what they're actually doing because there's just ads. Oh, it's Lydia is working on keyboards. Okay, I'm just waiting for this to happen. Lydia has some cool wait, everybody left. Hold on. The second I said I was going to raid somebody, everybody left the channel. So everybody stopped viewing. So now it would be embarrassing to raid. How did that... Oh no. Oh no. What? I can't raid now. It would be embarrassing because there's only 3 people. Where did everybody else go? It's because I said goodbye. Wait, are you raiding me, Life is Yours? You're raiding my own. Oh, did everyone click the link that I pasted and then left? That's embarrassing. Is it too embarrassing to raid with only 3 people? Okay, it's back to 5 now. Okay, maybe that is what happened. People click the link. So 5's a little less embarrassing. Okay, let's do it. I sent people away from my own channel. Foolish. Okay, thanks everybody so much, and I will see you next time.